Another example of using momentary snapshots and events to do useful things in the real world is backup microphones. Okay, so I've created here in my snapshot list a whole bunch of momentary snapshots which will move each of the 5 vocals to a backup mic. I have one backup mic which is shared between the 5 vocals. So if I have a problem with any of the mics, somebody will run out onto the stage, give the singer the backup mic, and I need to easily and quickly swap it over to that microphone. So if you look here, you'll see we're on Deborah's channel on the software, on the GUI. She's patched to input 40. The backup mic is on 48. So what I've done to make it safe, so I can't do this by mistake, is I have 2 triggers for the action. So it's a double trigger. I have an AND moment. So I have the color switch and the solo switch. When I touch them together, that will repatch Deborah's vocal from stage 1 analog 40 to stage 1 analog 48. I created another event to put it back to the original patch, should they manage to fix her vocal and give it back to her. Let's have another look at that. So here's Martina's voice. So Martina's patched in stage box 1, analog 41. To patch her to 48, which you remember is the backup mic, it's Martina's color switch and solo will take her to 48. And again, I have my event to flatten that back to the original patch. Okay, so let's have a look at how we do that. So we've just seen how I can use momentary or non-sequential snapshots and events to get myself out of jail. So when I have a problem with a vocal, I can instantly recall the backup mic straight into that channel with a soft patch so that my EQ, my dynamics, my plugins all remain exactly as they were before I had the problem. Okay, so to do that, I've used 3 non-sequential snapshots. The first one is here, is Deb backup mic. And all that I have on that snapshot is the in, which will control the patching. This is Deb's mic, and this is the backup mic. So all that will happen when I recall that snapshot is you'll take the patch from this channel and put it onto this channel. Here's Martina's mic. It's exactly the same. In, here's Martina's channel. It'll take the backup mic and patch it into the channel that Martina is using. And just in case we fix the problem and go back to the original mic, I have another snapshot which is called the vocal patch back, and that just puts all my vocal channels back to where they were at the beginning of the show. Okay, so let's go to the events and see how I can control all of this. Before I do that, I'm just going to recall that channel. You'll see why in a second. So at the bottom here I have dead editors. The first event is Deb's backup mic, and to be sure I have 2 triggers and I'm using AND to link them together. So is Deb's color switch pressed and solo pressed will recall snapshots Deb backup mic, which I just showed you. Okay, so let's see where we find all of these triggers and actions. So it's a switch, it's a control switch. It's not any channel, it's a specific channel. It's Deb's vocal, which we'll find here. And that one actually is the color switch. The other, I make sure I'm in AND. And then the second, again, is a switch. Again, is Deb's vocal. And this time I'm going to change it to solo. It could be mute or attention. It could be X and Y if I've enabled those. But on this occasion, I'm going to use solo. And then the action is recall snapshot Deb's backup mic. So let me just delete that. And again, if we go down to our snapshots, which are here, and we'll find recall snapshot, which is Deb's backup mic. And there it is. So there's the first trigger. That's to get Deb's mic with the double trigger to recall a snapshot that will repatch the spare mic into her channel. Exactly the same for Martina's. And the third snapshot I showed you was the vocal patch reset. So I have function switch 6 pressed is the trigger, and then the action is recall snapshot vocal patch back. So let me just find these for you. Very simple again. Add function switch 6, and the action, if I delete that action, was the snapshots, which are here, and it's recall snapshot vocal patch back. Okay, now here's an interesting thing. You can see down here, remember I recalled just before I went to this page, snapshot dead editors. When I press F6, you'll see that it momentarily tells me down here that this snapshot has been recalled, but it doesn't interrupt the flow. So, okay, I'm going to press F6. You'll see vocal patch back, but it hasn't interrupted my show flow. It hasn't interrupted the previous to next. Okay, so that's how you patch in your backup vocal channels with momentary snapshots and events.